and welcome to Round Robin. I'm your host, Robin McCormick, with the City of Hampton's Communications and Marketing Department. And today we're going to talk to one of our local service organizations and tell you a little bit more about what they do and how perhaps you can join if you're interested. I have two members of the Wythe Exchange Club, and they're also regional officers of the Exchange Clubs. With me today, it's Bill Trimble and Chuck Elinsky. I'm so sorry. I have the hardest trouble with names sometimes. Welcome, Chuck, and welcome, Bill.
Thank you.
And tell me, okay, I come in with this limited knowledge of the Wythe Exchange Club, which is I buy my Christmas tree from y'all every year.
There you go.
And you have pancake breakfast every year. So obviously those are ways you raise money. But tell us what you do for the community with the money you raise.
Well, with every bit of the money that we raise, every penny goes back in the community. It's kind of cyclical that we raise money from the community and then we give it right back to people that are in need or deserve acknowledgement, youth, school system, that sort of thing. We give out scholarships every year to the 4 high schools in the city.
I always see those pictures of kids with scholarships.
Exactly.
And that's one for each of the high schools? One
for each of the high schools, and we also we value their after-prom parties, and we try to support them with $500, I believe, for each of their high schools after-prom programs to keep them safe for that weekend that they're having their party.
Yeah, that's a big weekend. So really, youth is one of your areas of concentration that nationally the Exchange Clubs support.
We have 4 areas, and the national project area is prevention of child abuse. But we also have community service, service to youth, and Americanism. And what we do for the school division is an example of our service to youth. And we, along with the high schools, we also do a scholarship to New Horizons. So we actually do 5 high schools and the 4 after-prom parties. One particular night, we give out $12,000, $13,000 in funds to support these areas and so forth.
Wow. So you must do other things to raise money besides the 2 big fundraisers I'm personally familiar with.
Well, no. You do that. You are personally part of those scholarships.
That's correct.
Because you purchase Christmas trees, and every penny goes straight back into the community, and that's just one way is to give out scholarships and that sort of thing. But we also acknowledge the police department. We have a crime prevention banquet coming up this February every year, where we acknowledge the Hampton Police Department, the Deputy of the Year and Officer of the Year, as well as the Citizen of the Year that's given out at that particular
That's
function.
right. That's sometimes somebody who steps forward to report something or stop something or gets personally involved, right?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And other areas we serve. We are part of the Mayor's Book Club.
Hey, I just went and read. I had the best time with this month's book.
There you go, exactly. And we participate in that. Not only do we read, but we also purchase books for each of the classes that we read to, and that's another very important aspect of what we do.
It's so special for those kids because a lot of them, the whole program is really to give kids a library. So by the end of their 4-year-old or 5-year-old year, they have actual books at home that they can read. And when you see those faces, because it's theirs, they get to keep it. And kids that age will read a story over and over again. I mean, I had to read each book twice to each of 4 classes yesterday, but it's really good at promoting that job. And I know the mayor and the other sponsors really appreciate that because you can read to kids, but when you give them something that they can take home and learn from, it's really special.
We get a kick out of it also. I know Chuck has read and I've read, and it's just a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun because the smiles on their faces and they're looking at you, and you try to animate a little bit. I'm sure you did. And
yeah,
and so forth.
It's a little bit too animated. I think I almost fell off my stool.
But that's good for the kids. It really is. And as a former educator, of course, I'm well into what we do for our kids.
Well, and I always try to let them participate too. So if there's a way they can yell back part of the words or whatever, gets their enthusiasm
exactly.
up.
And the statistics are quite amazing. We've been told that 3rd grade reading statistics are just one statistic that they determine prison capacity in the future is
Isn't
based
that
on
amazing?
third grade reading pass-fail rates.
So that early intervention and early involvement is so important.
Exactly. And you think you're reading to kids, well, you're doing a whole lot more than that. You're getting them excited and letting them know how important it is to do that.
Mm-hmm. And how it can be fun, too.
Exactly.
You know, I think a lot of kids think of reading as boring, and it's not really boring. Or you can at least make it not
That's
boring
right.
if you
Exactly.
work
That's
at
right.
it. So, do you also do handicap ramps still? Because I know
We do.
a friend of mine is in the Exchange Club, and one Saturday a month he was building a handicap ramp.
This project started, gosh, 20 years ago at least, and it's in conjunction with the city, because the city receives a grant, and our Exchange Club provides some the labor.
Mm-hmm.
The city buys the materials, and we provide the labor. Folks have to meet a certain criteria through the city program, but we generally have built one a month for a lot of years.
So that's more than 200 ramps, right?
We're pushing 200.
Pushing
we haven't
200.
Quite gotten to 200 yet, but we've that particular project has won the National Service Project Award twice in the time we've been doing it.
And that's one of those contributions to the community that really lives on for a long time, and where you guys also get to see who you're benefiting, and you know, you're not writing a check, you are there hands-on all morning. Helping somebody and seeing that impact, and then driving by and seeing it being used.
We jokingly, we do ramps January through October, because in November we start, of course, late November doing the Christmas tree lot and so forth. So every January we always kid each other about having to be retaught in building the ramps. And they're all different. There aren't many of them are the same as another one. There's always, because of the house, a little something different about it.
A little complication, or
just a little something that makes it we do need to learn how to do this kind of thing.
well, that's wonderful. So how many members do you have in the Wythe Club?
The Wythe Club, right now we have 42 members, and it's ranged. It'll bounce up and down, but we're always looking for new members, that's for sure.
Now, I'm going to say, and I don't want to offend anybody here, but some of your members are, you know, maybe a little older in that club and have been there for quite a while.
Right.
Is it still a welcoming place? Like, can younger people still join?
Certainly, and we encourage it. The way the economy, I guess, is nowadays, and just the structure of things, that it's harder to get the younger folks, the 20-somethings and 30-somethings to be involved, especially with children, younger children in the family, that sort of thing. Although we do have members that fit that description, but we kind of target right now. We target the empty nesters, folks that are sending their kids off to college and are finding some extra time available.
I'm thinking that's going to happen one of these days. I will have time available. But you know, it hasn't hit me yet.
That's right. Exactly right. You put down the crossword puzzles and whatnot, and you go out in the community, and it's, you know, we get complimented all the time on the great things that we do. But if people only knew how good you feel inside when you're serving others and making a big impact on other people's lives, it's quite amazing.
Now, I also had this idea, probably because of who works the Christmas tree stand, that the Wythe Exchange Club was mostly guys, or that the Exchange Club was mostly guys, but that's not entirely true, right?
No, we have, I think it's 5 ladies in the club right now, and that has been as high as about 7 or 8, and always looking for ladies to be in the club. As a matter of fact, our president-elect right now is a lady and works in the school division, will be our president next year. We have minorities also. We have a good representation, so it's not all white guys. No, we have a good group of people in that club.
And you guys are also sponsoring the newest Exchange Club, the Downtown Club, and that is a little bit different, you know, more working people who are downtown, a little bit younger, a little more mixed crowd.
Exactly, and that was that club was specifically structured for people that either work, live, or recreate downtown. Mm-hmm. And that's the other thing, is that it's what we call a morning club, where we meet over breakfast twice a month, and you know, have our meetings and plan our service of what we want to do. And yeah, the way that's structured and the way it's turned out, at least up till this date, it's predominantly women. There's probably, of the 54 members, probably easily 2/3 or 3/4 are in fact women.
That 54 members is huge for a new club, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. In fact, that's what we're laughing about earlier, is the fact that our own club, the Exchange Club Wythe, has 42 members. Well, as of August, when we chartered the downtown Hampton Club, we built a club larger than our own club.
That's funny. But there'll probably be a lot more churn in that one, whereas a lot of your members have probably... How long have you been there, Bill?
I will have been a member for 25 years this April. So
that's a long-term commitment.
It's a long-term commitment, but I mean, you know, you go to things and people start talking about, well, this was done and this was done this one. Well, if you stay around long enough, you're going to do lots of things. So I mean, that's just the nature of the beast. But I consider it a privilege to be a member of Exchange, because I feel so good about things that we do. It's certainly not for anything else other than, you know, I enjoy doing things like that. I like helping people. And this is an opportunity to do it with a group of people who are similarly minded and want to make the community a better place. I'm a Hamptonian. I want Hampton to be as good as it can be.
Isn't that wonderful? And you know, the city can do so much more when there's volunteers and other people pitching in than when it's trying to fund it with city staff alone. That's just impossible, really, to pick up all of the projects that you guys do. If the city had to pay for those handicap grants at all those houses, you know, there's no way there would be enough money to go around. So you guys doing all the labor is just incredible. Now, those two, the Downtown Club and the Wythe Club, are only two Exchange Clubs. Are there more in Hampton?
Yes, as a matter of fact, there are a total of 8 Exchange Clubs within the city limits of Hampton. And it's the largest number of Exchange Clubs in any single city in the entire nation. I think second to Houston, Texas, I believe.
And Houston's like 10 times our size.
Exactly, and yes, and we're very proud of that. And we have a couple of different forms of clubs. We have our standard clubs, the Wythe Club and the Downtown Club, but there are 2 different what we call specialty type of clubs. One being a club we have, it's called the Special Friends Exchange Club. It's based out at Sarah Bonwell Hudgens, and it has become the nation's first all special needs membered Exchange Club. Every one of our members is, in fact, a special needs individual.
Isn't that wonderful? And then you guys partner with them so that when you're doing an activity, it's one of the regular clubs working with them, right?
That's right. We mentor them, and we have a group, what we call advisors, and we mentor them, and and let them get the same feeling of satisfaction that we get, and they've never had this opportunity before. The special needs groups anywhere in the country, to our knowledge, has never had the opportunity to go out in public and serve others. They've always been on the receiving end, or at least a lot of the time. But now they get the good feeling of being able to give, and certainly understand the importance of doing that.
And you said that at the recent Holidays Parade, you know, just as an example. Tell us that story. Exactly.
Well, at the recent Holiday Parade, actually is a combined effort between the Downtown Hampton Club and the Special Friends Club, as well as our Junior Excel Club, which Bill will describe to you here in a minute, since he has a very, very big hand in that. But it was a joint venture between those 3 clubs. We participated in something called Give a Kid a Flag to Wave. It's all one word, and it's a national project. And it's truly the education of our youngsters and our youth, letting them know how important the flag is, and the fact it's the emblem of the greatest nation in the world. And it's very important for us to get that message out to our youth. And what we do as part of that is hand out little 4-by-6-inch American flags that are on the stick, and hand them out in advance of the parade, and so they can wave their American flag proudly for the entire parade.
That's wonderful. Now you wanted to talk about your junior club.
The Junior Excel Club, right. At Eaton Middle School, shortly before the Special Friends Club was chartered, we chartered a Junior Excel Club. For many years it was just regular Exchange Clubs, and there weren't Excel Clubs. Now we have Junior Excel Clubs in middle school age, and we have Excel Clubs in the high school age.
Wow.
And we have talked about trying to get Excel Clubs going in some of the high schools. It hasn't happened yet. And also on the collegiate level, there are collegiate clubs. There's only one nationally right now, but there are projects underway to try to get more built. But this gives our junior, middle school age kids and high school age kids a chance to find out firsthand about what exchange means and what it does. And the Junior Excel Club at Eaton was the very first nationally chartered Junior Excel Club in the nation.
Geez, you guys are active.
And
you're really getting everybody involved.
Right.
They won the National Service Award their first year as a club, and so we're excited about how it's doing.
So do your interactions with youth and working with groups like that help bring people back to an exchange club later in their lives? I mean, is that part of the goal, is to teach them that community service and hope that they will continue, whether it's in the exchange club or something else? But
yes, that's the exact idea, that you start out young, you know, and let them know and understand how important it is to serve other people at that age. And then we also have clubs for collegiate clubs for college universities. So in theory, right now, you could start out as in a junior Excel club in a middle school grade, work your way through high school. There are high school clubs that we're hoping to get built in the city of Hampton, on to the university clubs, the collegiate clubs, and then on to the traditional style of exchange clubs. So we kind of want to bridge the whole gap there and have everyone know how important community service is.
Well,
so you could be an exchangeite from age 12 till you die.
That's right, that's right. And I noticed you had high school kids helping at the Christmas tree lot. I think they were doing service hours from Hampton High. But I mean, there was a good interaction between the members and the kids who were volunteering their time as well. I know you guys are volunteering your time too, so. How many hours, all right, if I were just to say ballpark, how many hours a year do you think each of you volunteer through the Exchange Club, volunteer to the community?
Gosh, never tried to put a number on that.
Yeah, it would be
a lot of
several
hours.
a week.
Yes.
You know, we're talking probably 5 to 10 hours a week, maybe, something like that.
Probably something like that.
So, and there's a range. So obviously, all your members don't do that. There's a beginner's level where people can give a couple hours a week, probably, right?
Sure, exactly, and that's the way it happened to me. Is that when I first joined, you know,
you're relatively new.
Yeah, I've been in exchange. It'll be 9 years in I guess February. But yeah, when I first joined, you kind of get your feet and kind of understand what the organization does, and the more you see and experience about getting out in the community and helping others, it's kind of you want to do more of it all the time.
That's great. Well, let me ask, is there a phone number or a website that if people watch this show and say, okay, I want to get involved in an exchange club, how would they go about doing that?
The nationalexchangeclub.org.
Okay, that's the easiest one to remember.
That's the easiest one, and it's very user-friendly, and find out anything they want to know about the National Exchange Club, which includes, of course, our local clubs.
Great.
And there's a portion on that site where, and it's pretty readily seen, that you can get on and just click on it, and it will direct you. All you need to do is punch in your name and address, and they'll direct you to the right club.
To all the clubs in the area. Okay, well that sounds great, and I really do want to thank you on behalf of the city for all that you guys contribute to, you know, in partnership with the city projects, the handicap ramp and the Mayor's Book Club, but also to the community and youth of our area. It's wonderful to have you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
And thank you for watching this episode of Round Robin. I hope you will at least take this opportunity to thank the Exchange Club for all they do, but consider also supporting them in some of their fundraising ventures or joining them if you have the time. Thank you.